Welcome back, Terry.
Off, Daniel. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Rugby League Outlaws, brought to you by our good friends at Top Sports, One Little Footy Fan, and the Stubby Club. Dan, it is good to be back.
It's good to have you, I guess.
Look, I've missed you, big fella.
Yeah, you too. Although we didn't struggle without
No,
you.
we didn't. Young Josh.
Shout out Josh, fantastic.
You know what wasn't fantastic this morning, Dan? Getting tickets to finals games.
The great ticket snafu. He blew up on social media. Now, once I had to go into work, 10 o'clock, had a meeting, decided, it's not worth it. Me and the kids will watch from home. Come back, about 11:30, social media, kaboom!
Yeah.
Everyone's blowing up. I got mates messaging me that the passwords are wrong and Ticketek didn't know what it's doing in the NRL. Like, oh, wait a minute, hold on.
Do you know what else was for Ticketek to struggle? The AFL tickets went on sale to their members at the same time.
Well, that was dumb.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we're a much better game than the AFL.
Absolutely.
They've got a bigger supporter base.
Yeah, they got 2 Melbourne games this week too, from memory.
Absolutely. And the Rabbitohs getting the wrong member code from the NRL to send out. Cronulla fans getting 2 links.
2 links, 2 passwords. There were people that were members that weren't ticketed getting better tickets than what were available for the high-priced members. Quite frankly, it was a big schmozzle.
Parramatta fans had access to the same amount of tickets as Penrith fans.
That's good. Did you see the bloke that went online and said, let's all buy family passes and divvy them up and sell out, paint Penrith Stadium.
Blue and gold. Absolutely.
Gee, excellent shithousery.
Yeah. I mean, I guess the Cowboys probably had the same. Yeah, everyone was entitled to 8 tickets, but it's just, where it goes on sale first. But my God, I guess if if there was going to be a struggle somewhere, here it was.
It's good fun. Cowboys fans won't need to worry though, because there'll be 15 of them.
Yeah.
Because we know firsthand there's Sharks fans buying in the Cowboy Bay.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
Good luck to those.
You want to speak about excellent shithousery? That was it.
Right there.
Dan, let's talk top 8, top 4.
Let's.
I believe a week ago it was locked in.
Who said that?
You did.
Nah, it doesn't sound right.
Yeah, you said.
Nah.
Yeah. Look, what a final series we have though. You're talking about one of the greatest rivalries of all time. The Roosters and South. We're blessed for that game. Sharks and Cowboys is going to be a fantastic game.
The 2 teams that no one thought would
be in the top 4. Battle of the West. First versus fourth.
That is a beauty. There's so many stories there.
And people are forgetting that Canberra have got an incredible record over Melbourne. Went to Melbourne and beat them.
Yeah. 4 times in a row.
Yeah.
Like,
this is a final series.
You couldn't have written this final series better. The Brisbane, the capitulation, which we'll talk about more later, that is made for a better final series.
Yeah.
If they'd squeaked in, Melbourne smash them.
They're smashing them.
Done.
Yeah.
There isn't a game that's a gimme this week. I have one that I thought was as close to a gimme, and you tipped the other team, which makes me think perhaps not.
Yeah, look, this is like, I get it, home crowd advantage and everything that you want to go into the finals. I don't really think it means much. Like, yeah, you're going to have the majority of your fans there, but these games are just, I can't wait for finals.
This is the most exciting final series
for a very long time.
Last year you felt there were 3 teams in it. The year before it was 2 teams. You get that feeling. This year though, gun to my head, you're still Penrith, probably a little bit better, but they may not even beat Parramatta this week. They've lost to them twice, plus in the trial. Parramatta, many are saying, have the wood over them. So if they lose, that's mayhem.
And that goes into Penrith's head as well. I know people are saying it's not going to go in there and they're better than that and they're above that. That's in the back of your head. Like, Cronulla now are shooting for 9 straight games over the Cowboys. That's in the back of their head as well.
It has to be. They have to play that up all week.
Absolutely. Look, this is a final series. As you said, I'm glad Canberra got in because Canberra, you could see Canberra beating Melbourne and then you could see Canberra upsetting and getting into a prelim. That's the way that they're playing.
Second and third's probably the game that means the least because, if you lose, whatever, you get another shot. Except you've got to play, most likely, the Roosters.
Yeah.
And then you've got to go through Penrith. Or Parramatta. That game's as must win as any of them this weekend. I can't wait.
Oh, absolutely cannot wait. Now, with the good comes the bad, and there's some injuries going into the final series. Now, the big one, my favourite player, Joey Manu, ruled out for the season.
Unfortunate second series in a row. He's going to miss.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, look, unfortunate, Joey. I'm a massive fan of yours.
Brings the Roosters back a little bit.
It does, yeah. Look, he's their best and most important player, and he's probably been one of the top 5 players. Joey Manu's been top 10 player in the game.
Centre of the year.
Yeah, centre
arguably.
of the year. Oh, well, and he's won it the last 3 years in a row, being in the team of the year. So, he's big in the yardage. I know he takes these important runs near the try line. So, yeah, look, I mean, he's a huge one. Jerome Hughes, will he play, won't he play? Melbourne have said they've uncovered a second injury, like a second set of books.
Well,
what's happening?
Unlike the Melbourne Stormer. Look, if he doesn't play this weekend,
Yeah, Canberra in with a big shot on that one.
Really are.
Cam Munster's good, but he needs that second person. Nick Meaney's not it.
No, Nick Meaney's
Neither's
not that.
Cooper Johns.
I just took the words right out of my mouth. Super important. You obviously want your best players. Penrith obviously get their best player back. Which, is he rusty?
Yeah, well, I mean, he missed the first 4 games of the year this year and he was fine.
Yeah, so. It didn't hurt. Okay, I'll give you that.
Yeah, and obviously our boy, Sifa Talakai, we'll talk about his injury later on. He walked off the field fine, gave everyone the thumbs up. They've put him in a moon boot today. Precautionary, take the weight off of it, don't train. He'll be up until game time, but we've got Connor Tracy, Matty Kavalu.
We'll be fine. You can't replace Joe Marnie. It's impossible. Jerome Hughes is irreplaceable. Sif Talakai, as good as he is, probably, not as difficult, although you want your best players. Cam Murray, they said he'll be okay.
Yeah.
He's showing no symptoms, but that's his second horror HA for Origin. I believe it was the decider.
Yeah.
And you're talking first minute, like second tackle, and arguably their best players taken off the field. That's going to be a whole different story this week.
I think he plays. I think, if this was round 25 this week, he's not playing. It's the finals. If he's cleared, they play him.
I do like the fact they're playing on a Sunday. Seemed to upset a few people that, the marquee time slot gets the game, that probably doesn't matter the least. The finals, they all matter, is my counterpoint. And second of all, they're all marquee games.
The last 3 years, first and fourth has been on Friday night, 6th and 7th has been on the Sunday, which means your 5 versus 8 and your 2nd versus 3rd has been on the Saturday. It's just which way that game has been. Everything else is that's how they do it. That's how the NRL do it.
It doesn't matter. They're the best 8 teams in the competition. There's no short turnarounds.
Nope.
It's all sweet. Everyone shush.
Dan, the Penrith Panthers rested all of their stars, went up to Townsville, got handled. You expected the Cowboys to win and win well. Didn't mean anything for the Panthers. Gave the Cowboys a shot at second that they didn't deserve. What are your thoughts on it? Because I know people in the media have come out and said it's disrespectful, it's unfair. How do you sit on this?
It's disrespectful, 100%. I also think if you finish first and have that up your sleeve, whatever. I would have been far different if Cronulla had needed Penrith to win that game and they sent the New South Wales Cup team up. In essence, we were only playing Newcastle, we were always going to beat them. It didn't really matter. I have a feeling if that's a live game, the way people are reacting is very, very different this week. I think they're taking the mick, to be totally honest.
I think if you're first by that amount, you have that right. I'll counterpunch you. If the Cowboys couldn't have finished second, but they were locked in for third, Drinkwater's not playing. Taumalolo's not playing.
They're playing half a squad.
Yeah. Dearden's not coming back with a busted ball.
No, wait. Not one single Cowboys fan was upset. Very funny. Was upset with that because it benefited them.
Yeah.
Now, no one was hurt by it. But again, if that's a live game, this conversation is very different. People coming out and saying the Panthers should be forced to play their best team? Absolutely not. Everyone rests players, whether you're first, whether you're eighth. Canberra rested players.
Yeah.
They rested their best player this weekend, And, it was a shame because they would have put 1,000 on if he did play. I think they had every right to do it. Doesn't mean I have to like it.
No, I don't think you have to like it. But again, if the Cowboys are locked in for third and they can't get second,
they're resting
players. If Cronulla didn't need to win that game to finish second, Nicho Hines ain't playing. Matt Moylan's not playing. Hamlin Ueli's probably not playing. Blake Brayley's not going to play.
Yeah, right. That's fine.
And then, like Souths, the Roosters, they took players out of the game as well. Roosters probably wish they took Joey Manu out. I don't agree with it, but I feel that if you have been the best team in the competition, you've won the minor premiership, you can do whatever you want.
Agreed.
The Tigers, Dan.
What a team.
Tigers.
What a team. We try and stay positive. We try and give everyone a reason to, tune in, but not today.
I want to talk about two cowards in particular in the West Tigers organisation, and that's Tim Sheens and Benji Marshall. Tim Sheens went into the Tigers, did a thorough investigation, sacked the coach, knowing that he was going to be the next coach, but he put an interim in place and never supported him. Now, he was overseeing Michael Maguire, never helped Kamali. It's a coward move by Tim Sheens to dodge a wooden spoon. The first wooden spoon won by the West Tigers. They probably should have had about 10. They're that awful. Disgusting club. But Tim Sheens didn't want to attach his name to the worst season that they've ever had, and neither did Benji Marshall. They're going to go there next year. They're probably going to finish 16th again. Lucky there's 17 teams in the competition. But for Tim Sheens and Benji to turn around and go, we're going to be the coach next year, but we'll send someone else in there now because you ain't getting off the bottom of the competition, there's no stones in that. You're gutless. You're like your CEO and your chairman. You got no stones about you, and I wish you nothing but misery for the next decade. And I hope you fail, Benji. That's how I sit on it. And you deserve to be booed.
Okay, I agree. I couldn't say it any better myself. I cannot add to that. I do want to bring something up. The booing.
Yep.
Yay or nay?
You're down 42-0 at half-time, you ain't going to clap your team off.
Yeah, you're going to cop some boos. Now, I can totally understand people, there's, young Tigers fan who wouldn't boo the team off even if they were 100-0 down. But, I mean, the Fox Sports team were talking about if they lose by 100, Canberra can, go above the Roosters or something.
Yeah, they go above South.
And you're like, haha, wait a minute.
Yeah.
That's how embarrassing. Now, they were disgusting. The second half was much better. Canberra took the foot off the pedal.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
They took, Papali off when he scored. Tarpany. Yeah. They didn't even bother sending White or other players. Hudson Young had an absolute field day. That was disgusting, and they had every right to boo. If the Sharks are 42-0 down...
On home soil.
On home soil. This isn't Campbelltown home soil. This is Leichhardt, the supposed home of the Tigers.
8th wonder of the world.
800th. This club are terrible. I'm trying to stay positive. I'm positive that they suck.
Yeah. Dan.
Talk to me, Terry.
Time for some guests.
Some special guests.
I've missed guests. I've missed you, I missed Dids, and I missed Guru.
G'day boys, thanks for having me on. Once again, we're down to the business end of the season. The bright lights, they're on the biggest stages, and we'll see the biggest superstars stand up over the next few weeks. It's going to be a cracking first week. The way that I see it, Parramatta and Penrith, I think this is Penrith's worst nightmare coming against this Parramatta side. They're the one side that can beat them at home. It's going to be super interesting. Penrith, they get all their rested troops back, but most importantly, Nathan Cleary walks back into this side. Super exciting to see. I'm hearing on Sunday afternoon, the Rabbitohs and the Roosters, mass outs, mass ins. Damien Cook and Campbell Graham, they will both be named for the South Sydney Rabbitohs. I'm also hearing that Victor Radley, he will make a return for the Sydney Roosters. They've obviously lost Joey Manu, so getting Victor Radley back, that is going to be a huge plus. Now, today and over the next 48 hours, are going to be a lot of teams hitting their Mad Mondays and whatnot. It will be interesting to see what happens over the next 48 hours. There is normally a little bit of curry that goes on. So looking forward to seeing what plays out there, what sort of carnage happens, as we always are. St George Illawarra Dragons, it looks like they will not be having a Mad Monday, which is a very, very interesting one there. A bold call there by St George. Personally, I think most other clubs will sort of follow down this avenue over the next few years. One Mad Monday that I would love to be there for, the Manly Sea Eagles. Now, they have been in free fall the last few weeks. It is not looking good there. Very interested to see how it plays out. Said to you guys a couple of weeks ago that Des Hasler could potentially lose his job, as crazy as it sounded. The whispers are getting louder and louder, so keep an eye on that situation. Also, a bit of carnage up with the Brisbane Broncos. As you've seen, they've also been in free fall the last few weeks. Hearing that maybe Jordan Ricky on the outside there. A few things coming across social media. Was obviously dropped from the team last week. Been rumblings there for quite some time out of the Brisbane Broncos. So a situation to watch there with Jordan Ricky. It'll be interesting to see if he is still there come next season. I wouldn't be surprised if he is one of the guys that does move on pretty soon. Thanks for having me on once again, guys. Enjoy your finals footy this week, and I look forward to catching up with you next Sunday.
Thanks, Guru, mate. Now, I'm a little bit...
Don't really want her on the show this week.
Kate, what do you got for us? If she says Chatty Townsville, so help me.
Hi, Dan and Terry. I hope you're enjoying the last week of regular round games. It's been 25 long weeks and the top 8 is all but locked in as I record. We meet each other in the first week of finals next week. I can't wait. It's been a lean few years as a Cowboys fan, so to be able to play finals footy and also make the top 3 after so long out of the winners' circle feels pretty damn good. It was the 3rd time that Queensland Country Bank Stadium had sold out this year, which is a huge credit to the fans of the region. Many who travel hours to get to the stadium for an 80-minute game to turn around and make the drive home. I'm talking 4, 5, 6+ hours to get to a game. Cowboys fans really are a dedicated and loyal bunch, so to see that stadium packed like that again was just fantastic. Saturday night is, of course, the best night for footy in Townsville because it gives fans the opportunity to travel the long distances that they do. It was a 23 degrees up there in Townsville last night and the atmosphere looked incredible. I know we played what have been dubbed the Panther Cubs, so it definitely wasn't the first grade team that showed up in Townsville. And in comms, they said that some of the players hadn't even been to Queensland, let alone played in front of a crowd like that. And I do hope that the Panthers who made the trip enjoyed that experience. The Panthers did pick up their work rate, and for at least the first 20 minutes of the second half, they were really good competition. They finished on the same completion rate as the Cowboys at 77%. And while they couldn't hang on in the end, they did have patches of play they should be proud of, 2 tries to their name. The Cowboys won convincingly, as they should have done. Val with a hat-trick, Reece Robson with a try and his slick moves from dummy half giving them some trouble. Drinky and his new contract grabbed a meat pie, as did Murray Taulagi, and the Hammer skidded over for another try to add to his 2022 tally. Robson was a standout for me. He usually is. There are rumours that clubs are circling him and it's not hard to understand why. I would love to see an announcement in the next week that he's been re-signed to the Cowboys. He's another player who clearly is crucial to the future of this team. To be honest, what I liked about this win was that the Cowboys got through it unscathed and it didn't take a huge physical toll. I think the Panthers definitely did us a favour sending up their Cubs. When I was watching Melbourne and Para, Roosters and Souths, it was clear that finals footy had already arrived and the physicality in those games were on another level. They were beating each other up, and as a Cowboys fan, I was happy to see it. The Cowboys have not suffered the same fate leading into round 1 of the finals. We certainly didn't have to exert the same energy as those teams have had to in round 25. Thanks for that, Ivan. On Friday morning, Cowboys fans woke to some very happy news, the news we'd all been hoping for. Scotty Drinkwater has been re-signed on an extended 4-year contract, which was perfect timing heading into finals. Really quite extraordinary when you think that he wasn't even in the top squad for the start of the season, much to my dismay, but he was handed an opportunity when the Hammer did his hammy. Back in round 3, I think it was. Drinky joined the team in round 4 and the rest is history. So good was Drinky that the Hammer has been forced to the sidelines with limited minutes in 2022. It is a crazy story. In an interview about the signing, Drinky said that if you told him at the start of the year that he'd be offered this type of contract, he'd never have believed it. But Townsville is where he loves living and he loves the club. And for Cowboy fans, there are no sweeter words to hear. He's a fan favourite, and mark my words, he will end up being one of the all-time greats at the club. We've only just seen the start of what Drinky can do. Looking forward to next week. It will be an absolute cracker. A home advantage will, of course, be advantageous to whoever gets it. But I think the Sharks and the Cowboys match up really nicely. They've both gone about their business in 2022 with some maturity about their game and have shown some great resilience. Sharkies got the win last time these teams met. It was during Origin and the Cowboys were missing some players. So we should expect this one to be played out at 100% intensity. And I'm tipping this to be the best match for the week 1 of the finals. Enjoy and talk again soon.
All right.
Yep.
We'll
fair.
see how she's talking Saturday night.
Yeah, fair, whatever.
Terry,
Talk to me, Dan.
time to talk some black, white, and top 2.
Oh, absolutely.
We all see.
Oh my God! What can you say? Second.
Second, far exceeded all expectations. Fair to say we got it right in the coaching. Fair to say Nicho Hynes is a halfback. And fair to say that Fanuc and Cam McInnes are not past it. So, just wanted to get that out there on camera.
No, look, I mean, at the beginning of the year, I went back and had a look at it. I tipped the Sharks for 8th. You tipped them for 7th.
I was closer.
Yeah. You had your Gold Coast Titans at 8th, though.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, don't worry about the Titans.
Don't worry about it.
But with the whole fact of the matter is, with Fitzgibbon, we thought we were going to get back in the top 8 and it was going to put the club on the right trajectory.
Improvement.
To sign players. We signed one.
Yeah. One player on the bench.
But to get top 2, and I know people turn around and say, you had a soft draw. Well, let's have a look at the teams that were in the top 8 last year. We played Manly twice. At the beginning of the year, the NRL didn't know Manly were going to be crap.
Nope.
We played the Knights twice, who finished in the top 8. We
Yep.
played the Titans twice, who finished in the top 8. So, I mean, there's not much more we can do. We played last year's top 8 and flogged them.
We beat everyone.
Except Penrith.
Yeah, well, don't worry about it. Give us a couple of weeks and we'll right the wrong there.
Yeah.
How do you rate the performance, though? Because, got to be honest, wasn't very good.
Oh, look, you know, it's a rugby league, game of 2 halves, right? We had that massive wind advantage in the first half. You think it's going to be a 30-point win like we did against Manly, and we did nothing with it.
Bottled it.
Then we ran into the gale and scored 100 points.
Never for one second did I feel we were in trouble. I got some messages at halftime saying we're going to bottle this. I said, don't worry about it. We'll win by 10, 12, you know. And in the end, we ran away with it. I just want to make a point. Nicho Hynes had arguably his worst game in the past 2 months, potentially all season. Still had 3 try assists, kicked 4 from 5.
And his defence.
His 2 try savers, kicked the ball deep, pinned him in, almost kicked the 40-20. If that's his bad game, mate, I'm all right.
Yeah, look, I'm okay with the performance. Like, you want to throw that first half out the window and never see it again. The most impressive thing for me, though, is how, you know, we haven't played well all season. I think we've put in 2 almost 80-minute performances, Melbourne and Manly.
Yeah.
Right? And maybe the first game against the Tigers, but that doesn't really count. But if you can turn around and say you've only probably had 2 80-minute performances all year and you're 4 points behind this Panthers team, who we're talking about a dynasty right now. This is a dynasty team. That's a phenomenal effort.
It's a phenomenal effort. There's nothing negative to be taken out of the season. We are absolutely fine. And look, even if we bomb out in straight sets, which I don't believe we will,
No.
that's still a massive, massive win this year. However, Sharks fans are the bane of my existence. I both love them and hate them. Earlier this week, everyone was on the bandwagon. Let's get game at Shark Park.
Let's have the home final.
Let's do this. It was obvious that people were going to miss out on tickets, and it was obvious the NRL were going to put prices through the roof. They don't have 20,000 people, which you would have got at Allianz. They got 10 or 11. So they've got to make the most out of it. The NRL, you know, they like their dollars. Sharks fans today, mayhem. Some missed out. Shut the f*** up. Cronulla are playing at home. We're, you know, playing a team that will be favoured to beat in front of a crowd that will probably be 95% black, white and blue. Maybe 5% sneak across, you know, a couple of Cowboys in the corner. We may even abort that payout. It's given the Sharks the best chance to win. Mate, right now, I will say I will not attend another game, grand final included, if we go on to win it, rather than get grand final tickets and watch us lose. Let's enjoy the victories. Let's stop finding negatives from positives. And let's, those that were lucky enough to get tickets, get there, make lots of noise. Other people, come out my place. I'll put on a spread. We'll have a great night together.
Yeah, look, we haven't had a home final at Cronulla since 2008, where Missy Talapapa went mental against Canberra.
Yeah.
You're talking 15 seasons, 14 years we haven't had a game at Shark Park in the finals. All our games have been at Allianz. You're begging to have the game back at Shark Park. This year we knew we were at capacity. You know, we were stretched.
Yeah, there was.
They've given us an extra 1,000 people this week, 12,500 instead of 11,500. It's unfortunate that you missed out. Watch the game on TV.
Yeah,
support your team.
Sharks number one.
Go to Karela.
Yeah, you get good. Go there. Don't come to my house. It's too small and probably dirty. Go to Karela.
Yeah, absolutely go to Karela. Look, I understand. You want to go. First in, best dressed. Suck it up. We'll be at Allianz week 3.
Yeah, there'll be plenty of space.
Yeah.
At a prelim against Parramatta.
Who cares?
Who cares? Doesn't matter. We'll be there.
So, Dan, one player who may not be there for this game, Cece Fatalakai, talked about it. The injury looked, I don't know. I didn't know what to make from it. He went down. I think it was a stinger. Hopefully it was only a stinger. They put him in a moon boot. He'll be all right. What did you make of that call for the hip drop, though?
I didn't think it was a hip drop. I thought he fell off him.
Yeah.
Like, the tackle, it was awkward and it looked terrible, but I don't think there was any design in it.
No, there wasn't, because he didn't have his full body weight on Talakai to then drop it. Talakai was about to break that tackle.
Yeah, Talakai broke the tackle, so...
I feel sorry for Croker. He's about to cop a 3-week suspension for that.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. You know, you can go penalty.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have sinned in him, and I definitely wouldn't be sitting him down 3 weeks. When we've seen a certain Melbourne forward throw elbows all year rather, and cop fines. So, a bit difficult. Now, look, if Talakai is less than 100%, you probably don't play him this weekend, given that he is so important. And we do have plenty of players that can step in, so...
Now, speaking of not 100%, we got Dale Fanuc and Toby Rudolph potentially coming back from injuries. Do you risk them as well? I think you have to.
Dale, yes, absolutely. He's got all the experience in the world. If he says he's ready, he's ready. Toby... 50-50. If he says he's ready and they decide, yep, he can go, he plays. Tolman probably misses out. But if he's not ready to go, no, you don't risk it.
Yeah, look, it's a tough one on this because you want to win to get that week off to give them more rest.
Absolutely.
But at the same time, you probably need these guys to win to get that week off to give them...
Dale plays on one leg.
Yeah, Dale plays regardless. Big question though. Lockie Miller or Will Kennedy? There's talk that Will Kennedy might be back for this game. I'm going Lockie Miller.
I love Lockie Miller, and I'm very, very much in agreement. I don't think he has to be there somewhere. He's been so dangerous.
He's been in our top 3 players, the last month and a bit, whether it was on the wing or at fullback.
Kennedy's form, pre-injury, was pretty bad.
Yeah.
We were talking about, would he take a week or two off to get Lockie Miller in? The only argument I can see against it is that the attack since... we've lost that flowing overlap, 3s and 2s and, links, which Kennedy's vital in. Yeah, if it's a close game...
I will say this, though. On the weekend, when we talk about that missing link, Nicho Hines became that missing link.
Yeah.
You have a look at the try that Ronaldo Mulatalo scored. Moylan went out the back to Hines because Lockie Miller went into first receiver.
Yeah, they can do it.
There's
no wrong answer here. I'm sticking with the informed player, Lockie Miller, because I think he's so different. But I think if this was a grand final, you've got to play Will Kennedy. Speed
is what we need. Now, that try that Miller scored, he got through the gap, bang, he was gone. Kennedy doesn't score that. We score that try, it's probably Mulatalo or Teague Wilton that scores, but you can't put a price on pace. The other thing is, that 40-20 kick from Randall out of dummy half, Miller's pace gets it, Kennedy doesn't.
Yeah, Kennedy doesn't get that, and we're probably defending. That's a very fair call. Let us know in the comments.
Yeah. Nicho Hines, Dalian, has he done enough?
Yes.
Yeah, he's done enough. Then we just leave it there.
It's done.
And one of the other things that we wanted to talk about now is the completion rate for the Sharks. Now, you go with yours, because I've got some thoughts on this as well.
It's terrible.
It is terrible.
If we complete the 60s this week against Cowboys, they're far more likely to punish us than the teams we've been doing it the last few weeks. When we hold the ball, Cronulla are near unbeatable. Mm-hmm. We held the ball against Penrith, I think 18 of 18 or something ridiculous. It's only when we started losing the ball that Penrith ran and got us in the end. It has to improve.
It does have to improve. Now, the completions on the weekend were a funny thing because we had 3 intercepts. So that's 3 incompleted sets there. We were punished off one, we weren't punished off the other. The only really bad drop ball that I can remember just going, what the hell, was the Wade Graham one, right? Every other mistake that we make seems to be we force too much. We throw the extra pass when we don't need to. And it's the difference between us and the Roosters and the Storm and the Panthers, right? Jesse Ramian makes a half break. He's got to throw that one-handed pass. Joey Manu makes that half break, gets tackled, gets quick play of the ball, they throw it out to Tedesco. Mm-hmm. So it's the same with Penrith. A Penrith player goes through half a gap, they don't look to force the pass. We do a bit too much. It's like that little kid that's had red cordial at a party. He's running around, he doesn't know when to stop, and then all of a sudden mum comes in and is like, you're out of order. Just calm it down. It's semi-final football, complete your sets first, pin them down in the corner. They're not bad mistakes. Like if we just kept dropping it over and over, like the Wade Graham one, but, whatever.
It's a fair call. Let's get it right. Another team I want to see get it right. What a segue. The Newtown Jets. This Saturday afternoon, 1 p.m, Cogra, prelim final against Panthers, who...
got through with their Jersey Fleet team.
They beat a very, very good Bears side who finished third. with like 13 players out, so all up in Townsville playing first grade. So this is a huge opportunity. If we win, we go straight to a grand final in 2 weeks. Penrith will have to go back and probably beat the same Bears team again and come back on the bounce. So must-win game. We'll be there at Cogra. Come say g'day.
Don't.
Up the Jets.
Dan.
Talk to me, Terry.
Oh, it's time for some top sport tips.
Yo, Beauty.
We're making some serious
No
bank.
more of this regular season rubbish.
No, we tipped a perfect round again.
Of course we did.
Of course we did.
What was Josh? Josh and I tipped the perfect round.
No, I threw some tips in as well. I did too. This week, finals. Only 4 games, so what we're going to do is we're going to pick it and an anytime try scorer.
Your Beauty.
Starting off Friday night, Penrith Panthers against the Parramatta Eels at Bluebet Stadium out there in Penrith. Absolutely cracking game. Sold out within minutes.
Oh,
they don't need to re-release tickets.
Absolutely not.
Sold out within minutes. I cannot wait for this game. This is mouthful. I'm glad this isn't the Sunday game, so I don't think I'd be able to wait for it.
Yeah, I'd be frothing. The storylines here are ridiculous.
Yeah.
You've got
4 in a row for the Eels.
a team that, has had the wood on Penrith, and no one can say that over the past 2 years. You've got Nathan Cleary coming back. You've got Mitch Moses pushing towards, that top level. Kenny be a smoky for the World Cup. If he comes out and outplays Cleary this week, there's every chance he might.
Yeah, and don't forget, this is the game where Cleary got done for throwing Dylan Brown on his head.
And the fans hate each other.
Yeah?
This isn't, it's us versus them. It's, we're the kings of the West. We're the big this, we're the big that. Oh, just beat each other up, please.
Yeah, I don't care who wins. I want them to kill each other.
Yeah.
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 Just,
sportsmanship.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, just hurt each other and then limp to the next week, but win and then limp back to us.
Yeah, and we'll
please.
flog you.
That'll be great.
I think Penrith might win.
I think Penrith, it's going to be...
I'm so sure they're going to win.
It's in the back of their head that Parramatta have won X amount of games on the bounce.
Penrith play better with a chip on their shoulder too.
Yeah.
They tend to get at us versus the world. Like when they won 36 games in a row, they go out and go, oh, well, you said we can't win 37. Yeah. And then they go out with a chip on the shoulder. So they don't need to find one. They've got it this week.
Yeah, and just for some shithousery as well, I'd be putting that JJ Gilton at shield right there.
Yeah, you're shining on their eyes as they're lining up the conversions or something.
Yeah, I'm tipping Penrith in this one.
1 to 12?
Yeah, I'm going to go 1 to 12 on this, and I'm going to go with Brian To'o, anytime try scorer.
Yeah, I'll go To'o too. I think he may be the difference. He and Sivo.
Yeah, and that's the battle.
No.
5:30 Saturday afternoon, the Melbourne Storm against the Canberra Raiders. Oh my God, I am chomping at the bit for this game.
Elimination final. Melbourne in uncharted territory. Haven't played a week 1 game with a future on the line for 1,000 years.
I believe this is the first time Melbourne have finished outside the top 4 since 2014.
Wellity. I think they might get bounced here.
You tipped them.
Yeah, I didn't say they would. I said they might.
Yeah.
That recent record scares me. No one has a good record against Melbourne.
In Melbourne.
Canberra.
No one has a good record against Melbourne in Melbourne.
Canberra made a mockery of that lately.
Yeah, look, this is going to be an absolute cracking game. 2 big forward battles, back lines. I just think that there's a bit more in Canberra's halves. Jamal Fogarty, I thought it was going to be like an absolute banter signing. He fits that team like a glove. He's average, but he just gets the job done. And that you go through that whole Canberra team, there aren't many superstars in it. Joe Tarpany, Papali'i, and Jack Whiten.
Yeah, it's probably the 3.
But even is Jack Whiten a superstar?
Well,
he's a star, but
he can be.
Yeah.
Hudson Young, they're forwards.
I mean, Zach Wolford is their number 9.
On paper, Melbourne probably have enough to do them.
Yeah.
With a huge home crowd behind them. Look, I'm going to tip Melbourne. I think they beat the hoodoo. But if Canberra win, I'm not going to be shocked.
I'm tipping Canberra. If Melbourne win, I won't be shocked. But there's just something about this Canberra team that says there's an upset. They're playing fantastic footy.
Momentum.
Like for weeks we've said they're on life support. Have they closed the door? Twice we said yes. Yeah. And they've kicked that door open.
We wrote them off and they said, ha! What do you know?
Not much. What we do know is at 7:30 on Saturday night, the Cronulla Sharks, the second best team in the competition, against North Queensland Cowboys, the third best team in the competition. Two teams whose fans this year have hated each other for some reason. Two coaches going head-to-head for the Coach of the Year. This is going to be an absolute cracking game at Shark Park.
Another storyline, mate. Two teams that people put in, the bottom half of the top 8, or in the Cowboys' case, the bottom half of the bottom 8.
Yeah.
They've come out and just showed everyone up. You kept waiting for that Cowboy bubble to burst. It hasn't. Perhaps it does in the finals. As I said with Cronulla earlier, even if the Cowboys go out in straight sets, this is a huge season for them. No one expected this to be a final. Or if they did, it would be, maybe a 5th, Cronulla swoop in and, the Cowboys are 8th. But nope, they'll both be playing in round 2.
What I did, Dan, is I went back through the archives at the beginning of the year, not of us, but of the experts at the Sydney Morning Herald, the Daily Telegraph, and NRL.com, and had a look at who they picked for their top 8, bottom 8.
Yep.
The majority of tipsters had us in the top 8 around 7th or 8th.
Fair.
There was only one person that had us in the top 4 this year, and that's because he's an absolute fanatical Sharks fan. That was Dave Riccio. And I think he didn't even say it with a straight face.
Yeah.
No one, NRL.com, Daily Telegraph, or the Sydney Morning Herald, and their tipsters, 30 people had the Cowboys in the top 8. Not one.
Fair.
This is huge.
Huge game.
It's a huge season from the Cowboys. We wrote them off and laughed.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they've just gone, players there have gone on another level. Valentine Holmes is going really well. Chad Townsend fits that team. He's average like Jamal Fogarty. Tom Dearden has turned himself into an Origin player and will be in the arena for a long time now. Busted his balls for that team.
Literally, yeah.
Who are you tipping?
Tipping Cronulla. I've tipped Cronulla like 8 weeks in a row. We've won 8 games. Feeling good. We're going to make it 9.
I'm going with the jinx, Dan. I'm not going to break it. I'm going with the jinx. Jinx. Let's go Cowboys.
Who's your try scorer?
Anytime, Val Holmes.
No.
Who's your try scorer?
Ravian.
Hope so. Sunday afternoon, 4 o'clock. Oh my God. Just the games just get better and better and better. Sydney Roosters against the Rabbitohs.
Here we go again.
Do you know what I really hoped happened last week? The Rabbitohs won the game and picked Allianz as their home ground.
Yeah.
That would have just...
The banter.
That would have been incredible.
Wouldn't the big Stadium Australia have loved that, Repeat?
No.
You go on the upset.
I'm going the upset. Joey Manu. No Manu, no party. He's out. Lindsay Collins is out. That's a big one for them as well. He was playing good footy. Daniel Tupou not back in time for this. Satili Tupanua, obviously he's not going to play. Injuries all over the place. I think this occasion is going to get to see him Walker as well.
I hope the Roosters lose because they frighten me.
They frighten the life out of me.
They are the team from outside the 4 that I think can go real deep and do some real damage.
What I will say about South Sydney is that they've got the forwards that can really combat Matt Lodge and Jared Warrior-Hargraves, but I just think Manu out of the team,
it's a big loss.
It brings the Roosters back. They'd probably get done by the Tigers.
Ridiculous. Latrell Mitchell will decide this game one way or another.
He can't play that badly 2 weeks in a row.
If he's on, they're in this. If he gets that chip on his shoulder, I said Penrith play well with it. He plays terribly with it. Every tackle
Same
he
as
goes
Cody
in,
Walker.
and he shoulders and he's throwing people around and he's kicking footballs at elderly ladies. That actually happened. Check the footage. Latrell needs to be 100% on. They will target Latrell early and they will target him often. If they can get him off his game, South Sydney are no hope.
Yeah, the Roosters' game plan is going to be pretty simple. Up the middle, and then when they're on defence, rub Cody Walker's face in the ground, step on Latrell Mitchell's hands. Just do whatever you can to make those two bark, and you're in their head.
And you're done. Game over.
I just think this is the one time where Latrell Mitchell's going to shut that noise out. And if he's on, they win the game. And I think he will be. He was dreadful. Yeah, he was terrible. And they only lost by 10. With no Damien Cook either. Cam Murray out for 79 minutes. Latrell Mitchell being really bad. They lost by 10. I'm going to pick the Rabbitohs. I
think the Roosters win, and I think Luke Keary scores a try. I think he's just in red-hot form.
Yeah, I'm going to go Oliver Gildart.
Fair.
I like it. He didn't score a try for the Tigers. He might as well score a try in the finals. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to another episode of Rugby League Outlaws, brought to you by Punctured Media, our good friend at Top Sports, One Little Footy Fan, and the Stubby Club. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Check out all the merch that you can. Buy it, support everyone, support us. Give us a shout out in the comments as well, whether you agree, disagree with what Dan and I have to say.
Agree.
Yeah, if you disagree, you're wrong. And Dan?
Rugby League finals, baby.
That is
Haven't missed it?
That's annoying.
Haven't missed it.